Hey guys, it's been a long 6 weeks, but this is BW and we're finally back out in the garage. We're jumping back on the car, but tonight I'm just kind of refamiliarizing myself with where we are. There has been work done on the car in the past 6 weeks. Phil's come over a couple times and we've done stuff, but I haven't put out any video on it yet because I kind of want to do a one piece on the wiring harness, and I definitely want Phil included on that. He's a huge part of that job. Right now I'm just looking at my throttle cable and my gas pedal assembly, and I figured I'd bring you guys in and show you where we're at on the car and what's going on. Just kind of like refamiliarizing myself, and I'll refamiliarize you guys too. Alright, so anybody that watches on the lives knows that we're messing around with the throttle cable, and we got a new bracket. I'm going to try to use this bracket. I think it's really cool. It's kind of billety, but it's black, so I don't mind it so much. All right, this is a GM connection, and you guys would know, where it would just snap in from the cable, and it gets bolted on right here. All right, we have an aftermarket setup, so we can't use this. So this bracket also comes with a Ford style bracket. All right, and this Ford style bracket actually used to be real fat and on an angle. All right, I might have a picture in my phone. If I do, I'll insert it into the video here just to show you what it used to look like. All right, my buddy the machinist Jeff, he machined it out for me so that it's hollowed out just like the GM one, all right, except it still has the hole to accept the throttle cable. All right, so that's kind of cool. I still may have to get this customized a little bit more. We're gonna find out. I had the old style cable on, and we're gonna go into that in a minute. And when I had it on and I had this bolted where I thought it should be, when the throttle assembly was all the way back, it actually had the cable pointing down a little bit. All right, so that leads me to believe I'm going to have this hole slotted, so that I can move the cable down to the bottom. If that solves it, great. If that don't work, then I'm going to have to scrap this idea, and I'm going to get a low car style assembly, just the kind of just bolts down here and with the double springs, and it's cool. I just kind of like this because I like the way the double springs look. It's kind of like a sharp setup. I'm gonna try to use it, see if it works out. If it don't, I got a backup plan. All right, so let me show you the cables real quick. All right, because I've made mistakes. Folks, I've made mistakes. All right, so the cable that came with the pedal is this one right here, and it's kind of cheesy. The ends are aluminum. The cable itself is kind of cheesy. It's just like the best way to describe it is it's cheesy. This actually bent when I tightened it up. All right, and I was finding out with this cable, whenever you put it on an angle, or when you had to put it on a bend like this, the cable just started binding up. I think we talked about that on live too, and it would just bind, and I couldn't get any kind of combination to work. All right, and you're going to see as we go into this job. I don't know that I'll get it installed before Phil comes over for us to work on the wiring some more. You guys can see there's a lot of wiring, but we're going to get to that in a separate video. All right, but down here you can see the hole I drilled, and I'm probably got it in the wrong place now, but when you're a welder, you don't care about that. Right down there, okay? It lines right up with the valve cover. So no matter what you do, you have to make a sharp turn with your cable. I mean, I've tried a couple different ways. Now, the pedal, the foot pedal, comes with these plastic washers where you can index it one way and index it back the other way. It won't work on our application because our valve cover, again, I'll show you, bring it back over here. Hopefully I'm explaining this correctly, but you can see how close
the firewall, I can just get my hand in there and go back and forth, is to the head and the valve cover. There's just no room. And like I said, I got so frustrated, I did a series of 3 holes to kind of figure out where I wanted to put it. But when you're a welder, you don't care about that. I'll show you how I'm going to fix that. I knew how I was going to do it before I drilled the hole, so don't worry. All right, so when we move into the car and we look around, let me turn the light on so we can see what's going on in here. Hopefully these batteries are good. Yeah, they're good. All right, and you can see how now the first thing I want to say is the arm has splines, so I can index it this way or this way. All right, so right now I just have it like that. All right, and you can see how the pedal just points. It just points the wrong way. It's pointing way inward like this whenever I got the piece mounted to the stock location where the old linkage bar used to go through. All right, and it's just pointing straight down. It's kind of frustrating because I bought that off of eBay, and it was like specifically for 55 tri-5 blah blah blah, and it's not. The cable I just showed you is garbage, and this is just a regular run-of-the-mill billeted gas pedal. So I'm gonna have to make a change on it. Like Phil suggested, we were talking about it when he was over here the one day. I'm gonna heat it up with a torch right here on this piece of metal, and I already have, if you can see, I already have a line drawn on it so that I can get that, I'll get that bracket vertical like it is now. And I know I just gotta take it and I gotta twist it this way. All right, and after I do that, then I'll know the location of the hole in the firewall. I should have done all this before I drilled the hole, but I came out here at 10 o'clock. I was a ball of fire, 10 o'clock at night one night, thinking I'm just going to see if I can mount that foot pedal, and it turned into a disaster. It just didn't work out. But you know, it's one of those things. All right, but again, you can see some wiring laying around, but we'll talk about all that whenever Phil's here. All right, so my next step that I plan on doing is I'm going to pull that gas pedal back off. I'm going to heat that bar up and we're going to bend it. All right, and hopefully we don't bend it too much or whatever, but I can kind of see, like when you're sitting in here in the car, you can actually look at how it's just sitting way in like this and straight down. It's terrible. So we're going to fix it up. All right, give me a minute to get that off and set up, and we'll take a look at it. Alright guys, well I got the gas pedal tweaked. I figured I'd show you that real quick. Alright, it's a lot better. I took baby steps. I could probably go a tiny bit more, but I feel like it's pretty good. You know? The gas pedal's feeling like it looks and it feels like it's where it should be. Alright, get this wire out of the way so I can show you guys. Alright, if I'm straight down on it. Now it's going to be up in here somewhere, and it's got a spring on it, so it's going to go like this. Alright, but it's not tweaked in anymore. We got it kind of straightened out. It's on its slightest angle, the ever so slightest angle now, to where your foot would rest comfortably on it. All right, I could go a tiny bit more if I want to. I burned the zinc off, so I'll have to sand that, and I'll just paint it black. No big deal. All right, there's one more thing that we were looking at. Is I got this bolt tight as it gets. All right, and there's still a lot of slop. Look at the slop in this. All right, I know there has to be some play, guys. I know there has to be some play, but I feel like even Phil said this is a lot of play. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can get like a couple shims and make like a little shim washer and put it in there, and just so it has a little bit of play, but not like this. This is ridiculous. All right, so we'll see what we got. I mean, I feel like that's just way too much. I might have to look up and find a better quality pedal, but we'll see if I can make this one work first. We've come this far. Let's go ahead and see it through. All right, so that's what I got with that. I laid these cables out so I could kind of show you guys the difference in the quality. This is a low car, $70, and you can feel the difference. All right, I got this one off of Amazon before I read the article about going with the low car cables, and this one's okay. It was $25. You can still, I'll show you in a minute, I'll set it on a stand, you can bend it on a radius and the cable still slides. But when you get into it and you look at this cable and you're feeling it, and then you look at the low car cable, there's a huge difference, the quality. All right, this one that came with that pedal is just garbage, you know. That's what I said, I've already adjusted this pedal bracket to make it sit right. I'm gonna try to make it work. If I can't, I gotta just take one on the chin and feel like I got taken on that eBay purchase. All right, so I'm gonna try to see if I can make this work. If not, like I said, I'll change the pedal. All right, so let me put this on the stand so I can show you guys these cables. I showed you guys on live, right, that you could take this low car and you could just turn it right at a 90, which pretty much we have to do. And this cable just glides. I don't know if you guys can see that. I got this bent like that, and I mean, it just glides, no problem, okay? Now, this one from Amazon was $25. I put it on that angle. It sort of glides, but you can feel a little bit of friction. But in fairness, it moves pretty gosh darn good, all right? But the cable, you can just feel the difference. This cable is better than the one I got from eBay with the foot pedal kit. It's better, but it's not of the quality of the low car. But in a pinch, I'd use it. This one I got, oh, the thing fell off. This one I got from that kit. You put it on this angle, you can feel the bind. It just starts. It's just binding. It's like I can barely move it. It's binding, and that's the problems I was having. All right, and it took me a minute to figure it out. You know, and when I was drilling the holes, I thought it was me. I had it lined up correctly the first time. If you look inside, like this is the bulkhead fitting. If you look inside, it's like it's drilled off center, and where the cable would just ride on it. So it's garbage. All right. So that's what I got for right now. I'm gonna get a hold of my buddy, and I'm gonna get this machined. I'm just gonna go ahead and have a slot machined in it, because I already know. Whenever I was looking at it and had this, that's the one good thing about this eBay cable is I had it mocked up. This is actually the length I got to cut that 2 foot down to. It is what it is, and I'm going to read the instructions carefully because I don't want to mess up a $70, $80 cable from low car. It's one thing, these $25 ones, okay, no big deal, but we don't want to mess up that expensive one. So I'm going to get a hold of my buddy, and I'm going to get this machine down so that I can go ahead and know that I can move the cable down, and I have full range with that. And with the adjustments. That was another thing with this low car, and even the one from Amazon. You get, whenever you put this in, the set screw that holds the cable is way down here, and you get a full extra 1.5 inch of cable that goes up in there to hold it. This one, it was a 1/2 inch, so it wasn't very trustworthy. So I can't stress enough that money does get you a little more money, gets you a better quality part for sure. And I guess that's the situation for most stuff. But these cables, you don't want to mess around, especially after watching that, what was it, that car a couple weeks ago with the throttle sticking, and you don't want any of that. So, all right, we're gonna make sure ours is right before we put it on the road. All right, so I'm gonna get this machine. I'm gonna mess around with the cables, and I'll do that with you guys in video, but I'm gonna put this up because I just wanna see you guys, talk to you guys, let you know I'm still here. All right, I'll see you in a couple days, and we'll mess around with the cable and see if we can make this foot pedal work, or if we're gonna have to get another one. So until next time, take care, everybody.